Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with Access POV, CPC game mode, APX versus Arca. Let's see how this game goes. Site 3 on 3. I like the map.
Yeah,
Quite
likewise.
a lot of opportunities.
Hmm.
Starting off strong with an Aegis. Okay, nice preemptive shield to avoid any incoming fire. Mostly sniping shots that could chip away some important bits of HP. We're seeing a duo VGCs walk into the center, backed up by a vortex. Crucial part here, yep, keep an eye on the HP of the shield, not only on the cooldown of the ability, because of course you can take down the dome despite the vortex backing it up. So far so good. Okay, nice, so far so good. Good timing on the shields. Okay, could have something been done differently? What you think, Lycan?
Looking at this, first of all, it's a very standard kind of composition. It starts off with a double Aegis and one vortex, and then one of the Aegis actually dies, but then switches to a vortex so that we can try to elongate or to extend the duration of keeping it alive. However, you don't ever need to stay on the point to keep it alive. The main thing here is if you cap it, then you just back off. That'll be the optimal gameplay. If we go back, we notice that this is the point where they do cap it. So from here onwards, they have now two vortex and one Aegis. The best thing to do is, instead of moving forward, where we see both vortex are doing so, we should be moving backwards, where we have there are two other players on the sides that will be able to protect the point at a safe distance.
Yeah, I agree. Since... yeah, okay. Definitely the backing up move should have been done within the time frame of this very shield being active. Because now, definitely, it is risky. Because considering that the shield is on a cooldown, enemies will try right now to make a push and take down that Aegis and the Vortex as well. So definitely, this was the shield that was perfect to start backing up, to not lose, at least keep alive or one vortex and one Aegis.
Yeah. This goes back to the survivability objective and kills. You got the objective, go back to survive. You don't need to continuously kill people. If you don't stay alive, you will not be able to kill anyone.
Agree. Here we see a little risky approach coming from the Surge, but still staying back, so he can offer great support with the nades. Yeah, one thing you have to be always aware of is Seekers, and definitely walking backwards, so the Seeker teleports in front of you is the best move you can do. Here going a little risky, but seals the deal.
I think the important point here is that this risk comes with also communication. We noticed that a teammate does teleport in at the same time, so that creates some sort of a diversion to secure these kills that are picked up from the corner.
Definitely. You'd never want to push in alone. You always need some backup, at least to some extent, whether it comes from the other flank or from center or from your side, your very own side.
That second dash though is definitely overextending. That second dash could have just been go back to safety instead of going again to the opponent's hive where they all will focus you down. So
Yeah,
that should be definitely watched out for.
Here, important thing, Axe shot the last two nades in his clip to start reloading. So yeah, maybe waiting just a few more seconds to have the shots ready before going in could have allowed him to take down that mortar mech. Because of course mortars, we know that don't get the kills, but definitely are annoying, put pressure on our team, and yeah, you want to get rid of them as soon as possible. Yeah, here we see some free damage that the mortar user managed to get on Axe, just because he was targeting someone else and Axe found himself in the path of the mortars coming. Here again, I'm sure he wanted to seal the deal with the mortar player, but yeah, he did have no information on the whole enemy composition regarding their positions as well. There was not much info, so that's how the Nomad managed to take him down. And also again, because he didn't rely on backup before pushing in. Could have something been done differently regarding a Nomad? Well, this is not a bad moment to close up on the enemy team, since right now Axe has a few partners to rely on when he gets close. But still, this is an Eclipse, not that tanky, so especially because of the fact that he was giving his back to the enemy control point, allowed the Nomad to take back shots on him. So definitely Eclipse in this case is a mech that you want to sit far behind with, because railguns, yes, you can get some shots up close, damage fall off isn't a problem for railguns, but still, better going safe if you have the chance to.
So we notice throughout the battle, most of the time, from the POV we have, that the allies were constantly putting pressure on the opponents, and that works fine as long as it's on a positive note within, like, you know, you have the kill advantage, you have the point advantage. However, we do need to identify when is the time to say enough, so that we can relax back. And that's based on many variables, like how many mechs are left from each player, what weapons we're using, and so on. So we need to keep that in mind throughout the game overall, to not get overkilled.
Agree.
Okay.
Alright, I guess that was it from the CPC part. Good job, Axe.
Alright, so moving on to a 5v5 gameplay here with the map Acropolis. We got Smoke's gameplay. So let's change things up a bit. Alright. Okay, we see a pretty standard tanky build here. Aegis and Vortex on the left side. Usually you want to be playing slow, but advance when the opportunity presents itself. That could be one of them right there. However, he did get shot quite heavily, so then everything changes. If we could go back a little bit, let me pause it here. Let's see what exactly happened.
EMF was shot because
yeah, shield.
He was way in the open.
Yeah, so we want to keep this in mind, that every time we want to peek, we peek with reason. So we want to peek with the shield. It was a bit too late, and communication might have been there, or the follow-up was not there. That it was at the end, he ate the shot very heavily there, even with the ability on as Vortex, and that means you could have died easily. So always keep in mind with your ally shield, and even if they don't communicate, keep in mind, 10 seconds is always a good standard to always, watch out for, and you can use the clock that is available in the game itself right here on the top.
I would even say 8 or 9 seconds, just to make sure, in case there are substantial ping differences.
Definitely, yeah, agreed. All right, moving on. And this is very important here, the dash actually, because you see the opportunity, you wanna take it and then go back to survivability. It's very simple as that. Going in and out is a lot more valuable than a lot of people think, because you are still alive, especially in a 5v5 game mode. You save points and you gain points at the same time. So that's the highest amount of value you can get in this game mode.
And also one little note I wanted to add, check out this dash. He was looking towards the enemy while dashing, and he was shooting. So you can definitely do this with ember guns, with railguns, basically any weapon that you're mounting on a dashing mech. So you don't have to wait until the end of the dash. You can actually shoot while dashing and still hit your targets at somewhere around 45 degrees angles, not wider angles definitely, but until 45 meters, anything within that angle on both sides, it's very doable.
Agreed. It takes some time to get used to that kind of mechanic, but definitely valuable. Oh, that is unfortunate with the lag there. Could have sworn he did land the dash on the Panther, but it slightly missed there. Unlucky. All right. Seeker is usually a great mech to go towards like middle of the game. So having it on a third mech is very, very viable. I would suggest that in a team environment, you want to try to basically create some sort of a turn base. Like someone would go Seeker in the second mech, someone would go Seeker in the third mech, someone would go Seeker in the fourth mech. Or, you know, communicating is always the best way to do this, but if you also have that kind of foundation, you know, create sort of a system that could also help in a situation where communication might have been forgotten due to the heat of the battle.
Having 3 or 4 Seekers on the field at the same moment in a 5v5 on such a close map is not really beneficial, because who's gonna get the eyes?
Yeah. That's another thing also to keep in mind. One of the variables we talk about for Seeker, when to teleport. So with this teleportation, it worked, and that is due to the fact that it was instantaneous, right? So it didn't need time to lock because it already locked on the Nomad before. So then the Panther didn't have time to react. However, when we can see or we have information that is a Panther with a shield up, you want to try to avoid teleporting until the shield goes down, because quite frank, the Panther can easily counter the Seeker, especially when the weapon choice is railgun. All they have to do is juggle between the shields and easily kill the Seeker without any repercussion.
Yeah. Before teleporting on any enemy, you don't want to spend too much time with the lock-on the same guy, because the more time you spend on him, the more he's going to be ready to counter your teleportation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright, changing things up here now. Trying to snipe instead of being sniped. Very nice. Because you do notice that there is a surge on the edge of that screen. So that would be now the focus target. It's very important, and this is very good. What he's doing is that patience. Okay, that's it. That's all I had to say. Patience pays off. You know, like you want to be ready, because the opponents usually, they. That was a. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. So the opponents eventually. I won't say they don't lose patience, but they go based on the facts. The fact is that there's nobody there, so then for a long time. So then they're like, okay, we're gonna push, and when they do, that's the time to punish. And this is a perfect example we see here. I'm gonna play this one more time, and there you go, done. Okay, so what happens here this is funny because I noticed that there's a panther in the home beacon, basically the home base. So this panther basically came from the other side, so that was left open, which is definitely a problem in a team situation. You don't want to have a side that is just left open where someone like a panther, a slow mech, can move all the way over here and into the center, because that's exactly what happened. Definitely be careful with that. What is that? Did I just draw a box? Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, having a panther walk into your home spawn, you might think, okay, he's gonna mess up us with the shield, but panther is kind of squishy, but you definitely don't want a squad of Aegises with the vortex backing up to walk in your spawn, because that's gonna be a little tougher to deal with.
Yeah. I know, I just noticed something also on the map. We see that there was a panther behind, and then there are like 2 Aegises in front. So the team was basically stacked up here in the center. That's just, stuck between a rock and a hard place, basically. So that was kind of funny to watch, but something to definitely remember.
Unlucky. So little HP left.
Yep. At this point, it's just a nasty brawl in the middle here with all the dashers. Trying to catch up with the points. And that's what Smoke is going for. Another dasher trying to catch up with the points. Oof. Yep.
Maybe? Nope.
Yeah, but that was definitely the best thing he could have done to dash in, and might as well, since they're already shielded, they're going to start aiming at him. So getting that damage reduction and getting some value out of it was all that he could do.
Yeah. I would say at this point that once he's here, like, instead of going back, he should have gone forward, because anyways, nothing he could have done anymore but try to get some shots through the fence, like sticking one arm through the fence and potentially taking down the panther too. But of course, that's just heat of a battle. It's just minor details that can change the course of a battle. In this case, of course, there's substantial advantage on Smoke's team side, so whatever happens in this case, no problem. But speaking of situations where maybe you're tied or one kill down, these little details could really make the difference.
Let's talk a little bit about this part here. It's very important that the dasher went towards the Aegis. We're going to use a simple example of rock, paper, scissors. So let me draw this here. Oh, wow, that is not the best color. 1 second.
Maybe go for
this background. Yeah, this background is not helpful. All right, so let's take a look at an example of rock, paper, scissors, where scissors is, let's say, dashers, okay, in this case, and paper is, call them, we'll say shields, okay, yep. Shields, all right, so it's stuff like Aegis and Panther. And then the rock would be things that are like Vortex and Bastion, which counters the dashers in that case, right? So Vortex and Bastion, I'm just gonna write this quickly. Seeing you have a Nomad, you're in a tough or in a pickle situation, and you see Aegis and Panther there, you do counter them immediately, because if you don't, and let's say all your teammates lost all their dashers, it'll be the very, very difficult way to counter this kind of build. It'll be too late. So that is the best thing we could have done, since the dashers can't counter the shields. While the shields, they would counter stuff like Vortex and Bastion, because they can stay behind stuff and shoot them, random down until they die. And then the Vortex and Bastion counters the dashers, because they can live longer or they can stun and have a lot of HP. So this is a nice little triangle just to keep in mind for just general information.
I like the idea. Definitely can pick on whatever target you want, but yeah, going with that scheme definitely puts you at an advantage. Last second kill. Hey.
All right, very excellent gameplay here. Thank you, and good job, Stellone. No, Smoke. Sorry. Good job for you for reviewing, and good job, Smoke, for playing. Thank you.
And thanks.
Yeah. So until next time, for more reviews with APX clan members.
Definitely. And don't forget to watch previous videos and most importantly, new ones. Like, share, and subscribe.